Hi, Scope readers. This is Kristen Lewis, editor of Scope. You are about to read the article, The Children Who Escaped the Nazis. It's the incredible story of the Kindertransport, a rescue operation that helped save the lives of thousands of children just before World War II. The story of the Kindertransport begins in Germany in the 1930s. A dictator named Adolf Hitler had risen to power. Hitler and his Nazi party carried out one of history's worst atrocities, the Holocaust. The Holocaust was the mass murder of 6 million Jewish people, as well as millions of others. Hitler ruled Germany with terrifying power and absolute control. In 1938, he began invading one country after another in Europe, starting World War II. In Scope, we have explored the topic of the Holocaust in many ways over the years. There are so many stories to tell. There are the Jewish resistance fighters who hid in the forest to launch strikes against Nazi troops and supply lines. There is Anne Frank, a 13-year-old Jewish girl in Nazi-occupied Holland who kept her now famous diary. There are the German teenagers who risked their lives to fight the Nazis during the war. This year, we wanted to share the incredible story of the Kindertransport. The Kindertransport was a rescue operation. Its purpose was to save as many Jewish children as possible. The Kindertransport started because life had become difficult and dangerous for Jewish people living under Nazi control. The Nazis restricted their travel, banned them from going to school, and cut them out of society. Jewish homes and businesses were looted. A group of people in Great Britain wanted to help, so they came up with a bold plan: arrange for Jewish children to come to Great Britain until it was safe to go home. In November 1938, the British government agreed to the plan, and German officials allowed children safe passage out of Nazi-occupied regions. Men and women worked around the clock to get the operation up and running. In December, the first trains carrying Jewish children departed from Germany and Austria. So what did it mean to be a child on the Kindertransport? It meant having to say goodbye to your parents, your home, your community. It meant traveling into an uncertain future. Most children traveled by train. The journey was long, tiring, and frightening. Nazi guards would board the trains to inspect the children and their luggage. But once safely across the border, it was not uncommon for the children to erupt in cheers and song, to feel safe in a way they hadn't felt for a long time. When the Kindertransport children arrived in Great Britain, they were placed with host families or sent to boarding houses. Their experiences in Great Britain varied greatly. Some Kindertransport children were taken in by loving families, forming powerful bonds with their foster parents that lasted the rest of their lives. Others were placed in homes that saw to their material needs, food, shelter, school, but felt cold and lonely. Some were taken advantage of and put to work as servants and farmhands. The story of the Kindertransport is one of both heartbreak and hope. It's a story about many people from all walks of life coming together in a time of violence and fear to try to do the right thing. Now open your issue of Scope and read The Children Who Escaped the Nazis.